Once again, hello and good morning from myself. I am very happy you invited me not only as a moderator but also as a speaker. And I am really happy that I was able to listen to my predecessor because I really liked the description of how to work with children at secondary education and universities. So now I am going to talk about a bachelor program, a program in which you prepare experts in AI field. So what are we going to describe in my presentation? When we have a bachelor program, when we want to talk about preparing experts for the market, so first we have to look at what the demands of the markets are. What we can expect that is going to happen in the market in the next 5 years. Then we have to prepare basic principles of the AI program. And these are also very important, so I will describe them. And then I will describe the structure of the education. So very simple. First we start with demands of the market. When you open any paper or any news website, you can read that AI will require a lot of experts. But this is the basic. However, I have opened also a website of more expert ground, which says that 86% of employers expects that technologies of AI will change significantly their business by the year 2030, and we are talking about all types of businesses. But if we focus, for example, on financial services, there it is 97%. And then what are the biggest growing jobs? It's in big data, fintech, or AI and machine learning. So all of these will need specialists. Therefore, I think it is important to take this into account. When I was talking about the 86% of expectations, when you look at the second most expected change, which is robots and autonomous systems, that is only 58%. So AI is really very dominant, and it will transfer the market, and within the next 5 years it will be something that will dominate in changes of professions and jobs. In order to change your job description, you need a specific skills description and specialists, and I have here put down some of them. So AI and big data are definitely leading, so it will be a basic requirement. So, for example, job interviews. You will go to a job interview and someone will ask about AI. So AI, it is something that is part of the life, everyday life. The fact that we have an assistant that helps us with some basic tasks, no one is going to ask about it at the interview. It is like someone would ask you today if you can make a PowerPoint presentation, send an email, etc. This is a common knowledge that everybody knows, and it would disqualify you from a job interview today. So AI will be exactly this, but in the future. AI can do big things. We have seen it already in the first presentation. AI can make the whole website, prepare a marketing campaign, and in these cases, all the users, when they have experience and can do it, they can be very fast. It can help them with the standard easy tasks. But for example, when you have tasks of higher standards, it will be important to know what is in the black box, in the AI box. If you will know how the AI works inside, then it will help you a lot. But we do not target basic users because it will be probably an automatic characteristics expected. But what we target are the designers. We target designers who will understand the principles, who will be able to come into a company and say, well, you have a problem here, I will be able to understand it very quickly and I will be able to design a good solution. And I will be able to identify individual AI aspects that will help to speed up the process. So it will be my added value for the company. And all these components are an issue from medical field to building bridges to chemical industry. So in all these areas, we have components which we would like to target on. So what are the basic principles that we have learned from first observations? First, we have to understand the principle. We have to understand what the black box contains. Then we will be able to say, in this job, you need this. You need to use this component and it will help you in your business. Then you can decide well and quickly. You can say that in this phase of your business, it would be better if you use the AI in a different way. For example, they already have a proposal of a solution, but you will be able to offer a different view, a second view. And these things are very important. Always to look at how it can be used. And this is what we teach our students. And this is particularly obvious in this program that we are proposing. We always want to teach AI on real cases. We have many subjects that deal with AI, but we do not teach students in a way that, okay, this is one method, preparing clusters, etc. We always teach them in a way that we show them a real problem and then how to fix the problem with the AI. And then very easily we are able to implement the AI. If you have the component in the hand, the little black box, then you do not want to give it to the customer. You don't want to give it to him and say, oh, it's gonna work. The customer will want to be plugged in, to be used. So what we will want to teach the student is to fix problems, to be able to use the little black box, teach the students in a way that at the end they will be able to use the thing immediately. And this is something which is very demanded on the market, not only to understand, but to use immediately. And therefore we have also various workshops for the students. It's not that only that we present something, it's also that we want to fix the tasks in the workshop. And we would like to, within the workshops, find a solution for a task that was given by, for example, a guest company that comes to the workshop. And at the end, we can present the final product to the customer. And if the product is technically approved by some assessment, then it will help the students to live in the real life. And then the last but not least is practice. We have 3 months practice in the program when we demand that all students would have the 3 months practice at the end of the studies. We do not want the students to graduate with empty CV. We want them to have a CV which will be filled with practical experience during studies, so that the students can prove that they were working on an interesting project, that it was, for example, a project in cooperation with the Unicorn Research Center, and all capable students can participate in these projects, and this can add few lines to your CV. You graduate, and at the same time you can present some practical experience. That's why we try to manage the tuition as work in a company. It is a project which you start. The project has some entry data, some deadlines, and exit data. If you have a task, it is given to you through a system. The system provides you with deadlines. Everything is archived. You can see all the work that you have done on the project, and the system that we use is the real system that companies use in their everyday life. So, for example, if you go to a job interview, you will tell the interviewer, I know the internal processes of your companies because I have been using the same systems that you use. For example, you have a presentation. We have seen it in Kuba's presentation. You can see the materials, you can see a self-test, you can see short video. So the omnipresent practical placement or tuition is there. The graduates that we prepare for practical life have a full contextual education. These people will be able to come to a customer and say, you miss this little box, I can provide it. These people can also be project manager, because we do work on projects in our team education. We also like to teach our students the soft skills when managing a project, and all our subjects, all companies will need someone who is our graduate. And the best is if you found a startup. For example, you have a workshop, you discuss it with the students, and at the end, after the students graduate, they found a startup, and at the end they end up on a stock exchange and lots of money and are very successful. So this is how we teach AI principles. We always want the practical part, and we also want concrete examples. So what is the structure? This is our backbone structure of our subject. We start from the very beginning. We, for example, don't use the system like we start with math and then other subjects. No, that's not our way. From the very beginning, we have a subject where students start to use chatbots, AI, language models, clustering, etc. How to play a game as a part of the AI principle, and we always use a practical example. It's not a standing alone thing, and this is how we teach the principles. At this point, students don't need to know how to code. But then we join the AI mode, where the people will be able to prepare programs.
I will say a bit more on this in the further on. It doesn't mean that you can code perfectly or program perfectly these things. We will hear today that Copilot can actually program a lot of things, but we do need to understand the principle to be able to supervise the coding. And this we already know at the end of the second module. we look at what we have available in the world so that the person can become an expert. The third area, principles of machine learning, we look in depth at the issues that we are faced with big data. Jakub Haláček said exactly, it is hard to obtain the data. Sometimes they have properties that are difficult. And this is exactly what we look at in the subject of principles of machine learning. We look at the methods of how to get the data, and we look at how to always make these little boxes workable and workable for you. And at the end, a little treat, neuron networks and deep learning, where we look at the most recent trends, the thing that drives the world as it is today. And this backbone structure of the subject is made possible by other complementary subjects. First is programming. Today, when you ask a Copilot or Claude or a similar program, you say, "Okay, I need you to code this or that function." Yes, you get the output, but you need to understand how it's done. So here we acquaint the students with the language of these AI models, and then we look at, of course, you gain data, you need to store them somewhere, so we look at the properties of these things, how to use the data structures, and then we look at these little Lego blocks. Okay, this is the approach, these are the properties, and then we, from these little building blocks, make up AI models. Then we go one level up into the principles of machine learning. I mentioned that we need to know the data, the complexities of them, and of course we start with principles of interpretation and visualizations of data. You can think, okay, we're going to generate some graphs. We look at how to read the graphs, how to view the data, what to look for. We get acquainted with how to work with the data from the very beginning. And then we move over to basics of statistics, not because we want to become complete experts in statistics, but to understand, because statistics is basically the mother of AI methods. So we need to understand the principles that are at play. And here we realize, oh, so this is why the method does what it does, because this is the statistical approach. And here we really, this is where the aha moment should become, and this is where you become an expert in the field, because you understand how it works. Of course, we also have some subjects that look at the mathematical foundations of it all, but we always only focus on what we need. Large language models need matrix multiplication. So we look at what it is, how it's useful, how it works, and we look specifically at the terms that we need and how they work so that you can understand the entire model. And we want the people to be effective at the end. So we need to look at, for instance, what does it mean to implement the system into the client's network, how to get it running in their company. What does it mean that it runs on a graphics card? So we look at the computer system, we look at the individual components in a computer, the programs that they run, and we look at the whole setting. Of course, we also have to look at the databases, how data is stored, how they can be utilized, and this is all complementary to the fundamental backbone. And of course, a very important subject. I mean, these important subjects make it all happen. That is the final subject where we put everything together and we come to the customer and say, okay, this is the whole set. This is how it works. This is how we implement it. We also, as I said, look at how to found startups. So we also teach our students the skills needed to actually found a startup. We look at the legal aspects of it, etc. All the things that can then affect your future life after graduation, because you can become not only the expert who creates the technical solutions, but also the expert who can come and say, okay, I am going to create an entire solution for you. I will innovate your business and transform it to make it more efficient. A few comments towards the end. Why to study AI? It's a reasonable thing to do because this is very much in demand. It is something that very much influences our world, and graduates will definitely be able to find a good position on the labor market. The key is to understand the principles, what is hidden in the black box. Case learning, to really learn things on real-life examples as though you were already in the real life working. And we start from the beginning as though the student wouldn't even know how to code, and we build it up towards expertise, towards becoming an expert that is a truly useful asset at work. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, David. I think we only have time left for one question that we received. If somebody has already gone through software development as a bachelor study, would this still be an interesting subject for them? I think absolutely. It could even be a very interesting combination. Software development is looking at component management, development of large systems. AI focuses on getting the person to know how to create these little boxes and to be able to implement them into an existing framework. When you're looking at creating the large systems that work and even interlink clouds, and now you look at the little boxes that come within it, this will actually truly make you an expert at both aspects of the system. It is not a prerequisite, but it is a very interesting combination. Thank you very much for your answer and for telling us a bit more about the educational project.